Have you personally dealt with like women, whether it be older or younger, who have purposely tried to create conflict?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think that is why I do what I do, to make sure that doesn't happen. And it honestly still happens to this day. And I just realize, like, when I encounter those situations, like, I realize we don't have the same values. Hey guys, it's Tasha. You might have heard of my platform called Black Girls in Media. And Nyla, we need to talk.
What's up, guys? Nyla Symone here with another episode of We Need to Talk. And today I have a very special guest in the building. I got Tasha Mack in the building. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Nice to meet you. Now, for those who aren't familiar with who you are, you just had an amazing event this past weekend in New York City called Black Girls in Media.
Yes.
Just talk to me. Well, first of all, I would just like to say personal experience. I want to say my favorite, like, con that I've been to. Definitely by far. I felt very seen, and I was able to just relate with a room full of women. So first and foremost, just thank you for putting that together.
Thank you.
But Tasha, what made you even want to put that together?
You know what's crazy? Like, I started Black Girls in Media in 2018 when I was looking for opportunity, actually, when I was here in New York, just interning and just really looking for that guidance. So then I was like, okay, let me start a group chat with, like, women here in New York that I know, and, like, we can just give each other advice. And then the group chat just really started growing, and I'm like, oh, shoot. So then it was just kind of like natural, on demand. Like, everybody in the group was like, when are we going to meet? Let's meet. So I'm like, okay. And then I was like, I guess I need to do events. So it's just been an ongoing thing.
I love that. Wait, okay, so 2018 started as a group chat. So were the meetings, like, originally in a living room, and then they, like, grew into, or was it, like, meeting at a bar? Like, how did it? Yeah.
So we talked every day in a group chat, and then I had members all over, right? And so...
Wait, but were these your friends or these random girls?
It started off as friends, like colleagues.
Okay.
And then it just grew to strangers, like, people just started adding each other. And then, so 2018, I started doing brunches, because I was like, okay, who's in what city? Like, let's just do brunches. First one was in my hometown, Charlotte, and then I did DC, I did LA, New York, and then during the pandemic, I started doing the virtual events because we couldn't do in person.
Right.
And then 2022, I did the first in-person conference in Atlanta, and then took 2 years off, and then again, in demand, everybody's like, when's the next one, when's the next one? So I decided to do the next conference in New York.
It was amazing. Yeah, I love that.
I
love hearing the origin story behind it. So you said you were working in New York City looking for opportunities, which is what made you create the platform.
Exactly.
What work were you doing in New York City that made you realize, like, you know what, we need a space for us?
Yeah. So for one, like I said, I'm from Charlotte. So I came to New York by myself, no family here. And I think I was just lacking that kind of support. And actually a Black woman from VH1, I messaged her on LinkedIn. She gave me my first internship opportunity. Didn't even know her. And so I noticed,
Nice.
So then I noticed, I just realized how that made me feel. And then I noticed every internship I did, I was, usually the only person of color, or specifically the only Black girl in those rooms. And so I'm just like, okay, where is everybody at? And then how can I feel supported? So I was like, where are the girlies at? And just started a group chat for that.
I love that. I really wish that I was more familiar with this platform earlier in my career, because it definitely would have been something that I could have utilized and used the support as well.
Yes.
But being, not from New York City, moving to the city by yourself, talk to me just about your challenges in that alone, because I know New York City was a culture shock for you.
Yeah, it was. Definitely lonely a lot, just like navigating career, navigating the city, but it was also, it helped me, just grow stronger mentally, being able to, like they say, if you can survive here, you can survive anywhere. So it really just gave me that confidence to start my career and, like, figure out what I really wanted to do. So I always encourage people, and I'm sure, can you attest to that, like, just moving, exploring, and when you move to, especially a bigger city, you're just able to grow as a person.
Yeah.
So that's what it did for me.
100%. I always say that too. If you're going to college or looking to go to college, go out of state.
Yeah.
Like, that will force you to grow up much faster than you expected.
Exactly.
Okay, so That's your time in New York. And then from New York, I know you also have worked in Los Angeles as well, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about LA. I hear some people do that transition to LA and they either love it or they hate it. So how is it for you?
It's funny too, because I feel like people in the media industry, they go from either New York or LA. And so, yeah, I think my time here, I was in New York for 2 years because I was also in grad school here. I was at NYU. So I was just like, okay, I feel like I've served my purpose in New York. It started just getting a lot for me. And so I'm like, okay, where do I want to go next? Because in Charlotte, there wasn't a lot of like entertainment opportunities for me. And I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So then I moved to LA. And it was kind of like the same people, like either from New York and then went to LA or vice versa. But yeah, and then
it really is a dance.
yeah. And like you said, some people hate it. I know a lot of New Yorkers who hate LA. They didn't last there. Some New Yorkers who love LA and don't want to come back here. So I see that dance. Yeah.
Yeah, but for you, you loved it.
I did. Yeah, I ended up loving LA. Just the people I met there, the opportunity, the community. Because like when I first moved to LA, I moved to Inglewood, so it was like I was able to be in the industry, but then also see that LA Black culture community.
Did Issa make you want to move to Inglewood, or did you just want to move to Inglewood?
Actually, just a room.
Okay.
You know how it is. Like, yeah, it was like 4 of us, and we just was in like a townhouse in Inglewood. So it was just like, but I didn't even realize or know what to expect. And then I just got immersed with like their culture, and I was like, oh, this is lit. So yeah, I loved it. And then when I was in LA, I just transitioned like different jobs. And so I started off like in events and things like that at Blavity, and then I transitioned to social media management at HBO. So just like navigating the media space and growing while, like getting opportunity while also giving opportunity through Black Girls in Media. So just, that whole experience.
I love that. I love that for you. So talk to me just about, I guess, knowing when to pivot, when to stay, because I hear you say, you've done these jobs in New York City, then you decided to move across country, then you're trying new jobs there too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times people feel like they have to stay loyal to a company or, people just really want to be comfortable. But it seems like you're comfortable being uncomfortable and trying new things.
Yeah.
What's the magic to that?
Ooh, I think it's just like desire. Like I love a good pivot. I do. And like you said, like I feel like it's important to realize we're not stagnant. We're not stuck. And go with your heart. So it's like if I'm at a company or doing a job and like my heart's no longer in it, or just like spiritually, I feel like in order to grow, I have to leave. Like I'm always down for that and like going towards the next thing. Yeah.
Could be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
It could be nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But I love change. I feel like change is like exciting to me.
Understood.
Yeah.
So you took a 2-year break
Yeah.
With Black Girls in Media. Within those 2 years, what were you going through, and like what were you doing mentally to prepare for the next phase of Black Girls in Media?
This is why I love you, because like that's literally what I was doing, is like mentally preparing, because just my team is small. I'm the only founder, so I do feel like a lot of the brainstorming and just the planning is on me, and it does take a lot. But like they say, like, to whom much is given, I guess. So it does. And everybody at the conference came up to me like, thank you for answering your call, because sometimes the call I feel can feel like a burden. It can feel like a lot of pressure. And I went against that fear. And so those 2 years, I was just kind of preparing for the work that I knew I was about to go in, and just also preparing and recovering energy-wise and all that.
It does take a lot.
Yeah, it
takes a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Even down to just, like, I was impressed by the efficiency.
Yes.
And the politeness, just the energy. Like, you could tell everything was done with good intention because you felt it in the room.
Yes, for sure.
But just talk to me about how you picked your superstar lineup, down to the host, down to even the girls, they're volunteers, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Even the volunteers were amazing. I'm like, where did you find these people? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's crazy? Everything is always so organic, like you said. Like, I'll send out a call for like needing volunteers, and then we'll just select them, me and my team, and then every time it just works out. Like, God just sends amazing people our way. Every time all my team members just like come to me, and then it just works out. And then when it comes to the lineup, it's really me choosing just from different perspectives. A lot of times, like women who I see their work, and I'm just like, they need to be on a stage, and more people need to hear like how they got here. Like specifically, like for example, you know, like I watch you. I'm a fan of your work, and so I'm just like, how can I connect with her, but also, you know, get her to share her light with my community.
That was really great. I was happy to see Dante. Yes. Even the girls that I met there who now I'm fans of and following. Like, I think you did a really good job curating.
Thank you.
And that's why I was like, I know we usually do artists and stuff like that, but I'm like, this needs to be talked about and this needs to be highlighted because, that was I felt like even though I was pouring into others' cup, I felt like my cup was being poured into as well.
Yeah. It's kind of like reciprocation. Like you give, but then you also get so much in return.
Yeah. And that was your niece who went up there in high school. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to cry. She's
oh my gosh. I was so emotional all day because like, it's just because you never know like who you're inspiring, you know? And so to see her there asking questions and then saying like, I want to do what you do, but like she's still young, so she's still trying to figure out. So the conference was, you know, there for her to see and learn from y'all. Like, okay, I like what she does, and just that inspiration. I was like, oh.
Yes, I think a lot of times people like to make women compete in these spaces. So I think that's what makes Black Girls in Media so special is that it didn't feel like a competition. Like it really just felt like, oh, I like what you do, and I like how you do it. Even though we're all in some way doing similar things, it was just more so love-based, and that was the fly part about it. But have you personally dealt with, like, women, whether it be older or younger, who have, you know, purposely tried to create conflict?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. And I think that is why I do what I do, to make sure that doesn't happen. And it honestly still happens to this day. And I just realize, like, when I encounter those situations, like, I realize we don't have the same values, because everybody who was on the lineup, everybody in the room, our intentions is to support each other. It was no bad energy, no jealousy, no, like you said, no competition. And so I really align myself with those type of women, and we just all get along, you know?
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Okay, now, we're going to play a game, but before we play a game, I got to ask you, this is usually a music-based podcast.
Okay.
What's a certified sleeper to you? Like a song you feel like people should listen to that they're not on yet? It could be an old song, it could be a new song.
Y'all, when I tell you, like, my music is, I call it bipolar, because my playlist is, like, everywhere.
Okay.
Like, from...
That's called diverse. Well-rounded. Yeah.
So my shuffle can go anywhere. I can't play my shuffle in person because I'd be embarrassed. Like, no, so you know, Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. In a fast car. Y'all know that song.
I know.
Okay, so like I don't know, classic songs that like
Fast Car by
in like
Tracy
a cafe
Chapman.
Or something.
Okay.
Like I like stuff like that.
Okay.
But then I also like, you know, new music and rap and all that, so.
Fast Car by Tracy Chapman. She's putting me on today. All right. And then, now we're going to play a game called Questions That Need Answers. All you got to do is fill in the blank.
Okay.
The older I get, the less I...
The less I want to focus on just work. Like, I don't know, I want things to be aligned. I want to realize that, like, I'm more than just work. So, I think that the more I get, the more I don't want to say don't want to work, but yeah. Focus on other things too.
Honestly, that's some real shit though. We need to unpack that a little bit, because I feel the same way. Yeah. There's more aspects to you than just work. We have families, we have health, we have hobbies, we have other things. Yeah. How are you going about navigating that?
I think just embracing the seasons, embracing like the work seasons, embracing the rest seasons, and like you said, doing hobbies. That's why I feel like we're just in this era where we're like, okay, what else can we do? Like, we're humans. Let me rollerblade.
I feel that. Oh, because, I forgot you're in LA. You definitely probably rollerblading. I believe that.
Yeah, like random stuff.
All right. You would never believe me if I told you.
Never believe me if I told you. I mean, I was in a dance team in college at A&T. Shout out Aggies.
Fire.
Golden Delight, yes.
I would believe that. What? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
From time to time, it's good to do
Nothing.
My personality trait is.
I would say, yeah, like chill, positive.
What's your sign?
Virgo.
Yeah. It's Virgo season too.
Yes.
Did we miss it?
No, we just got here.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, perfect timing, right?
Happy birthday.
Yes, thank you.
Sometimes I look back at my life and
I feel aligned. Yeah.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
I love that.
Yes.
Well, Tasha, thank you for coming on the pod.
Gosh,
thank you for what you do, for real. Like, I really appreciate it. I value it, and I just want you to get your flowers. So thank you for coming on here.
Thank you.
Shout out
it
your
means
gram.
The world.
Of course. Shout out your gram, and shout out the Black Girls in Media page, of course.
Yes. So my Instagram is Tasha Mack with 2 Ks. Black Girls in Media, at Black Girls in Media on Instagram, website, everything. So yes, connect if you want to excel your career or just get that motivation for the media industry and get tips and all that and hear from amazing women like Nyla. Yeah, connect with us.
Tap in. They got a newsletter. They have community events, everything you need and more.
Yes, and men too. Just because it's called Black Girls in Media, like men, you're welcome. Everybody.
I'm joking. Until next time, guys. Talk soon.